Maybe we'll do that this time. Okay. That's 1:30.
Oh, look at that kitty. That's Katie's kitty. Oh. Hi, Don. Hi, Casey. I can't hear you.
I know, I had to unmute. I was muted for some reason.
Okay, all
Now
right.
I'll go get us some slippers because my feet are cold. Be right back.
Okay. Are you all right, Don? You're all ready for church? Put your speaker on, man. I can't hear you. Hi, Dave.
She's just saying hi to people as they come in.
Hi, Alice. Hi, Dave.
Hi.
Hi, Alice.
Are we unmuted now?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you look great.
So do you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. I'm
Wow.
on.
You guys are dancing around. Looked like you came down from the ceiling.
Oh, I know, like last time we were sitting here, weren't on screen, and then we turned it on, but we're like, there's a window behind us, so like you can just see our shadows there.
Oh, yeah. So you put up a curtain.
Put up the, yeah. Well, we just, you had a curtain there, we just closed them.
Right.
You been?
Pretty good. Yeah. Enjoying the quarantine.
I know. I'm essential.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Which side?
I'd close
Just
that.
becoming incredibly lazy.
I'm getting a little lazy.
Yeah, me too.
Lazy Casey.
Never been so well rested. Nice to see everybody. Hi, Joan. Hi, Greg. Benjamin, hi. Hi, Carol? You guys don't all have your speakers on.
Can you hear me now?
Who said that?
That was Benjamin.
Benjamin, hi. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
I like your chair.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Carol, your speaker's off.
She's just talking to people in there.
I see Fred is here. Hey, Fred.
That loud enough for you? Yeah. You'll be sorry. when you're not now.
Katie looks like we're inside of a room. Barbara, thanks for the water. Peace. Now can you, now let's see if I can hear you, Joan. Say something, Joan.
Is this what you were using last time?
Hmm?
Is this what you were using last time?
Yes,
Carol,
I'm just trying to figure out,
Hi, Mary.
hi.
trying to,
Who showed up? I'm sorry, I'm looking over your shoulder without asking.
I'm just,
Fred, we can't see you.
Can you hear me now, Mary?
Yep.
I'm just trying to see if I can get it to live
Al,
stream.
we can't hear you. Hi, Al.
These are the other people that are there.
Al, are you going to do the opening today? Turn on your microphone, man.
Yeah, okay. There we go. Thank
Hey
you.
There.
all right.
What did you ask me, Barbara?
Nothing. I asked you nothing.
I asked you if you were going to do the opening.
I'd be delighted to.
Here comes my dad.
Yay.
Come on, Dad.
I'm thrilled to see Greg Garman on the internet.
Don't count your chickens.
You're already here.
They're going on now.
Well, everybody's coming in. There's Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
I can't understand how.
Jennifer, your microphone's off. Fred, we can't see you.
I can't.
Mary, did you hear this morning?
I guess so. I see.
Cheryl's going to be our musician this morning. This is awesome.
This is Primo.
Good morning, friends. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
Good morning.
We're gonna have, so we have a couple of musicians here today. We have Tony doing a special music. We have Cheryl doing some music for us to sing along. That'll be lovely. So I'm grateful that you're with me. We do have microphones, so hopefully that'll help with the sound a little bit this week. So we're just trying different things all the time. Last week, my laptop didn't have the best sound, so I'm trying to do my phone, but now that I'm on my phone, it doesn't seem to be live streaming through Facebook again. So it's just, if you all ever wanna just get mad at technology, it's just a challenge. So we'll try it slightly differently all the time, but I am starting a YouTube channel for Walker as well. So I'll make sure that these videos is being recorded. And I did intentionally mute all of you when you came in. I would love for you to turn yourself back on mute because it creates echoes. So I'm trying to see if I can mute all of you on purpose, but right now it's not letting me. So please mute yourself. There's a way that you just press the button. And mute yourself. Thank you. That's much better. So let's see if I can do meeting settings. I have you on mute on entry. And that is good. So as long as you are responsible and if you can stay muted until I tell you not to, that would be good. And you can keep messaging each other if people aren't staying muted, because otherwise there's echoes, and otherwise background noises happen, like trains and cars and automobiles. So we're gonna start with, Cheryl's gonna kick us off with some music this morning. We have a special guest whose name is Ben. Can anyone see? If you put yourself on gallery view, you should be able to see. So Ben is waving right now, Benjamin. He's gonna be speaking a little bit later this morning, so that'll be good. So you can put things on gallery view if you like. It's good to have everyone here this morning. I'm really grateful to be with you. It's good to be in the Walker space this morning representing. So without further ado, again, just make sure that you're staying on mute. Don and Alice, you're not on mute. Make sure you're on mute. If you can mute yourself, that would be good. That would be wonderful. I don't know how to keep you guys on mute. That would make it easier. Then you wouldn't be tempted. If only I had this thing in real life, I could mute people. That would be nice. Just kidding. All right. So kick us off, Cheryl.
All right. We are going to do a sing-along.
But stay on mute even with the sing-along.
You can see on mute, but please sing. I've got Tony and Katie in the house with us, and we're going to sing number 130 by Bill Withers. I'm going to give you an introduction. Here we go.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain. We all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I you need to follow. No one can fill those of your needs that you want. Just count on your brother. We all need somebody.
There's so much calm.
We just might have a problem. Understand. We all need somebody to lean on. There is a road that you can't get easy. Right up the road, I'll share your love. If you just call me. Call me, if you need to call me, or you can just call me. Woo! Good job. Welcome to Walker Church, where our mission is to nurture spirituality, build caring community, and work courageously for peace with justice and mercy. Blessed be. So it's wonderful again to see all of you this morning. I know that this has been a stressful, crazy time. Maybe you've been enjoying singing along on your porch steps with neighbors. I heard that the Browns were doing that. Maybe you're not feeling particularly well for one reason or another. Maybe you're suffering with COVID-19. Maybe you've got a head cold, maybe this gray weather is getting you down. So I hope that we can help bring a little bit of joy, a little bit of a smile to you this morning. I hope that you are thriving and finding, whether it's community with the people you live with, or maybe community with your cats and dogs, or maybe it's community on the internet, maybe you're getting phone calls. One thing that's going on this week is that we are doing a phone tree, and we're trying to make small groups that you can keep checking in with throughout this time, because we're not going to be able to get back together as a community till May 10th at least. So that is going to be a while. So we're going to have to get used to this. We got to snuggle up into our online world. But if you prefer text message, if you prefer email, if you prefer using YouTube, if you prefer Facebook Live, if you want to keep using Zoom, if you need someone to just stand in the middle of your street and throw rocks at your window, we can do all these things for you to stay in community in this time. So you just need to let us know. So Alina is still working in the church office at different times, mostly from home. I still am on my email. I've been trying to update the church website to have ways to get into the Zoom meetings and the Facebook Live and things like that. Like I said, I'm going to start posting these videos on YouTube so you can more easily access them later, because I know some people are just kind of afraid of Facebook all around. So we're working on that. So if you're not getting a call from someone by Wednesday, let me know, because we're trying to get our phone tree situation together. And then out of that phone tree, we'll be making small groups. So if you're with a group that wants to just have a group text, or if you want to have a weekly Zoom meeting, or if you, whatever it is that you need, that's going to be the best way to contact you, we want to make that happen for you, because it's an individual thing. I mean, yesterday we were doing the women's brunch through Zoom, and I think the youngest person, besides me, I think the youngest person on the Zoom call was the one struggling the most with the technology. We had Casey Bretsky, who was just like thriving on there, looking great with her camera, all that stuff. So it's not an age thing. You don't have to feel insecure if you don't know what's going on. All of us struggle with technology. It's just some of our gifts, some of our not gifts, and we will figure out a way to be in community with you. So that's going to be wonderful. I have a couple things that you can be thinking about and getting. I am getting some ways to kind of stay in touch with the community. I would love if you would do some trash pickup challenges this week. So if you send me pictures of you picking up some trash, staying 6 feet away from people and houses and things, we'll see who can get the biggest trash pile, and whoever wins is going to get some candy or coffee sent to their door. So that's going to be fun. So pick up some trash, send me a picture, you can text it to me, email it to me, whatever ways to get to me. This Wednesday, we are going to have a virtual Holy Fools event at 7 p.m. So again, it's going to be a Zoom call, and that information is on the weekly. We're doing a couple emails a week, so that is going to be a good way to learn about it. Again, if you're not getting emails, call me, text me, send me an email. So that'll be 7 p.m. So if you have something crazy, goofy, whatever that you want to share, we're going to take turns unmuting, and people will be able to perform and sing along muted. The reason why we have to do the muted thing, again, is keeping yourself muted is because there's background noise and all that stuff. So we'll work on that. I just got a message on there that's asking about the songbook. So as we continue to advance in our technology abilities, I'll be able to add the words to the screen as well. So we can figure out a digital copy of the songbook, or also I can start making the songs that we're going to sing available to you beforehand, or I can do a slideshow on here. So every week we'll be growing in our technical abilities. So muting yourself so that there's no echo and feedback. And also we can't do unmuted sing-alongs because there's lag time with our internet connection. So Janet Skidmore is interested in maybe trying to do a conference call sing-along sometime. So if you are interested in that, you can talk to her. A couple more things. New City Church raised $10,000 for Simpson Shelter. Ebony, who's been our cook here and kitchen manager here at the church, is cooking some different meals for Simpson Homeless Shelter. They're $900 short for this month because there ended up being a few more expenses and a few volunteers who dropped. So if you would like to donate and have Walker commit to the $900, we can talk about that. Or we can even commit to the $10,000 for next month, whatever you like. But that's going to be an option. And then one more thing, because we're not going to be able to all be together for Easter, which is really too bad. I had an idea, which is I think that we should all work on some Easter flowers projects. So if you have a song about flowers, or you want to write a song about flowers, if you are growing flowers right now in your basement, soon to be outside, if you're a painter and you want to paint a flower, if you're a doodler and just want to draw a flower, whatever it is, I'm hoping that we can share Easter flowers online, digitally, through pictures, through song. Again, if you're not someone who's going to be able to do these things live on Easter Sunday morning, we will make sure that's available to you later. We'll get a gallery together, so that would be wonderful. And one more thing, I just mentioned yesterday at the women's brunch, we were talking about doing a Walker walking group. Unfortunately, I have to call that off because it's not respectful enough of social distancing. I was just reading some articles this morning about how being social but sitting 6 feet apart doesn't count as social distancing. So if you want to, without my permission, get together and have a 6 feet apart walking group, you can, but I'll get in trouble if I try to do that. So you can talk to Casey Bretsky if you want to walk 6 feet apart from Casey sometime this week. I can't organize a group, any sort of group get together, at least until shelter in place is over. So sorry about that. We just got to stick it out a little bit longer. If you want to call each other while you're walking, that's a great idea. Also, I had one more thing that just popped into my head. Oh, that we are canceling the Tuesday meals while shelter in place is in place. If you want some encouragement, know that this church is opening to Sisters Camelot. So Sisters Camelot is doing their grocery bag pickup. So if you're needing some groceries right now, sisterscamelot.org, you can talk to them or you can email them, go on their Facebook page, and the pickup will be at Walker Church on Tuesday afternoons. So that's another good way. So we're not going to have a hot meal or a to-go meal on Tuesday, but there's still a way to get some affordable groceries. I know that a lot of the food I made this week, I made this like roasted veggie platter 2 nights in a row, and most of those veggies were ones I got from Sisters Camelot and from our donations last week. So that is a good way to get some extra groceries when, you know, a lot of us are a little bit short on cash right now. I know this is kind of a long announcements period. Thanks for sticking it out, but we got a lot going on. Things are changing every day around here. Am I right? So one way to get us into the spirit this morning is that Tony's been working on a song that he wrote. So we're going to hear from Tony. Are we doing Al? Oh, Al, did you want to, did I hear that Al is going to do an intro for us? Do you want to unmute yourself, Al, before Tony starts?
I'd be delighted.
All right, Al, give it up. Give it up.
So we are in a situation where every one of us has a multitude of orientations. So I want you to settle where you are. Figure out east, sunrise, where is that? And north and south and west. So welcome here where we are all together on this gloriously molten-hearted Gaia, where we are in this subdued radiance of soul. For me, it's right over there. And in the reflected light of Luna, where we are between the Southern Cross and behind me, Polaris. And always within this exquisite, glorious, confusing mystery that provides an endlessly welling ocean of discovery that washes at our footprints as we walk along its shore. I'm delighted to be in the presence of your virtual images, the connection to your essence and your divinity that sparkle in each and every one of us, that is boundless, that stretches across this universe, that is in communion with every one of us, where we are separate, yet where we are all one. Namaste.
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 Hi, everybody. I see you all out there virtually. I thought it was unique until I learned on the internet that a lot of people are writing songs about this topic. So I've had plenty of company. It's called Cancel. What can we do, and where do we go? I just don't know. I just don't know. A new phrase has come our way in this strange new age. It's called social distancing, and now is all the rage. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Wear a mask and stay in place. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Wear a mask and stay in place. They've canceled social gatherings of groups of more than 10. They've canceled hugs and handshakes until God knows when. We cannot go to movies or eat in coffee shops. We cannot work out at the YSU when contact stops. This is for everybody. A new phrase has come our way in the strange new age. It's called social distancing and is all the rage. So wash your hands, don't touch your face. Wear a mask, stay in place. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Wear a mask and stay in place. Feels like we're in prison or under house arrest. A new threat has arisen, our souls put to the test. It's called a great pandemic, like we've not seen before. It's more than academic, and lurks outside our doors. So everybody, wash your hands, don't touch your face. Wear a mask and stay in place. Don't touch your face. Wear a mask and stay in place. We still can use our internet and all our other aids. We still can prosper and connect until this danger fades. So now's the time to look inside and pray for all our friends. Now's the time to abide until this dark time ends. One more time with feeling. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Wear a mask and stay in place. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Wear a mask and stay in place.
Yay! Wonderful. So just one more friendly reminder that everyone stay muted, even when we're singing along. And then I want to invite our special guest, Benjamin, is it Mackay? I forgot how to say your last name correctly, and you are wonderful, and you will remind me. So I'm going to ask if Benjamin will unmute himself, and then he can do a little bit of sharing with us this morning as to why I invited him here. He was going to be here in person, of course, until all of this happened. So would you please welcome with maybe a little, this is sign language for clapping. So if you want to do some sign language clapping, that would be wonderful. We can shake for Benjamin. Gotta unmute yourself, Benjamin. Gotta click unmute. I believe in you. Close. He's gonna have to do the, oh, here we go. We got you?
You got me.
Oh, great. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Katrina Lee, for having me here. I'll be brief, less than 5 minutes. I met Katrina, might have been the end of February or the beginning of this month. And it was through somebody that I think everybody on this call might know, Mr. Fred Glazer. Fred and I attend the same synagogue, Shir Tikva, for a number of years. And the purpose of the introduction of Fred to your new pastor is based upon the work of my nonprofit organization called African American Registry. Now I'm going to explain what the registry is to you, and it has to do with one of the pillars that we do our nonprofit educational work on that has some logistic similarities to South Minneapolis that I think you might find attractive enough to possibly support with a tax-deductible donation. All right, African American Registry is a nonprofit education organization. Our mission is inspiring the young minds of our future. African American Registry serves a global community from 4 platforms. The Teachers Forum is our platform number 1. It is something that we do because we believe in reforming curriculum is something that is important to reflect the communities that we serve, and we find it to be the most qualitatively way to unearth the intelligence and the wisdom of all students everywhere. We had a bill at the state legislature in 2017 that was passed, and it gave us the ability to take our Teachers Forum to the University of St. Thomas School of Education and Metropolitan State University School of Urban Education to work with about 800 teacher candidates to train them through our content and our pedagogy to help them be able to work better with the more diverse classrooms in the state of Minnesota. It was quite successful. We have now added Independent School District 742, that's St. Cloud, Minnesota, to that program. We have a bill before the current session that is on sort of shaky ground because of COVID-19, but we hope that it's going to get some play, if you will. It is a hybrid artificial intelligence software that will help reduce illiteracy by bringing grade level reading to all students that are struggling with reading. That's our first platform. The second one is our Street Team Youth Programs, If Not Now When, and the HD Challenge. If Not Now When is very progressive. It connects youth and elders in a 10 to 12 week safe place class so that they can interact culturally, racially, and through sexual identity. Our 2019 class last year connected the Hmong American community and the African American community for 12 weeks. It was very, very well received. We got another grant from the Cultural Star Program of the city of St. Paul for this spring. And our first class was due to begin on March 13th, and then COVID-19 hit. So all schools are closed, but because we work both virally and face-to-face, we are going to continue our classes a little bit late, starting tomorrow, every Monday for the next 10 weeks through Zoom, just like we're doing today. The girls are from Washington Magnet Middle School. The elders are from the YMCA on the east side of St. Paul and the YMCA downtown St. Paul. The theme this year is not Hmong American and African American. It is all women and girls. Now, the third piece that we do is our Voices That Guide Us oral history. That's where we take our camera and we've gone out for the last 15 years and done video interviews with various people throughout the country, actually, not just Minnesota. We have interviewed some freedom riders that live here in town from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. A lady named Claire O'Connor sat down with our camera. Another lady named Susan Lorenzi Sojourner sat down with our camera and shared their experiences for voter registration back in the 50s. We also have interviewed the first openly transgender city council person in the country, Andrea Jenkins. She is also housed in our website. They're all sharing their experiences going forward. We find that very attractive. Now, the fourth platform is the one that is probably the most seamlessly attempted to get your attention. It is our Frances Mackay Scholarship. Frances Mackay is my aunt. She died in 2006, and she was born and raised about a half a mile from your building at 2911 13th Avenue near Lake Street, where Grossman Chevrolet used to be. She went to South High School, graduated with what then would have been a 4.0 GPA. She did her after-school work in high school at Phyllis Wheatley Settlement House in North Minneapolis, and she applied for admission to the University of Minnesota School of Nursing in June of that year, 1929. She was turned down because she was Black, and the executive director of the Phyllis Wheatley Settlement House was a lady named Gertrude Brown. Gertrude Brown was very well connected and very sensitive to the refusal of the attempt to be enrolled at the University of Minnesota. So she contacted a senator by the name of Sylvis A. Stockwell, and the three of them got a special legislative session created in August of that summer, where Frances read the letter of refusal from the University of Minnesota saying that she would be much happier at Kansas City Colored Hospital number 2. When the legislature heard that letter, they immediately called the governor and the Board of Regents at the University of Minnesota, and she was admitted that September. She graduated in 4 years with 2 majors. She went on to go to Fisk University and Meharry Medical School. She also worked at Tuskegee University, married a doctor from Meharry Medical School, and together they started their own practice in Southern California. Now, what we have created about 2 years ago through the University of Minnesota is the Frances Mackay Nursing Scholarship. And that's what I'm asking you to consider a 100% tax-deductible donation to. You can do it directly through your pastor. I have sent her the link to the University of Minnesota website, and that's why I'm here this morning, because I think from a logistics standpoint, where your building is located, and added to that with the increased emphasis on the need for more healthcare professionals that you might find in your heart and in your logic, that supporting this nursing scholarship might be worth your while. This past September 2019, we admitted our first 6 sophomore and freshman scholars to the Frances Mackay Scholarship. I'd be more than happy to send a picture of that to Pastor Lee that she can pass along to you if you wish. And there we are. Please and thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing, Benjamin. I'm wondering if you might put, there's a way that you can do a chat feature. So maybe when we're doing our offering, maybe you can put you can copy paste into the chat. Otherwise, I can send it out later as well. But actually, I think in the email I sent yesterday, I added a link to, I mentioned that you were going to be sharing and I put a link there. But if you want to put another link in the little chat feature here, you're welcome to do that.
I just clicked on the chat. I'm kind of looking at this tombstone on the right side of the screen. I'm saying I can put anything I want in there.
It looks like it, yeah. So thank you so much again for sharing. And I'm looking forward to the day when we can have you in celebration in person. That would be really delightful.
I know I was planning to come over, I think around the 10th of next month for Fred's Seder.
Right.
And that's not going to happen, I don't think.
It's not in this timing, but it is possible we could do a Seder and Easter celebration once we're all able to get back together. That would be, I think that'd be cool. So we'll see. We'll yes, exactly. So we're going to enter into a time of offering. And so if you, in this moment, want to do some meditating or praying for, like if you're someone who just lost a job because of this, now's the time to just send some good energy and some prayers for the Francis Mackay Scholarship and for Walker Church. If you're someone who's still doing okay financially and you want to check out the scholarship to donate to, if you want to donate to Walker Church in this time, if you want to donate to the, specifically make your check or send a note to the office saying that your donation is going towards the $900 deficit at Simpson, that's just fine too. We're still able to accept checks in the office. The mail is still going in. So in this time of offering, we're going to have Cheryl play for us again.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks, Ben. And there's a part in this Jimmy Cliff song where y'all jump in. I'm going to hear you even if I can't. So, yeah. This is for all of us sitting in the room.
To you, that's what you
Sitting in the room, but I know you'll be alone. Sitting in the morning, like a bird without a song. But I put up resistance, but I know that we can. Sitting here and let it go, waiting for the days to roll. Sitting here at the door, got some time to search my soul. But I put up resistance, and I know that I can be gone. I don't know where I'll be, but I know I can say what about the show, but I know what I see. When I put the hand in the friendship, all that is passing on. This little man is moving on. Sitting here in the cold, sitting here in the cold, waiting for the time to go. Sitting here in the cold, coming back to go. Putting up resistance in love, nothing will take you. I don't know where I will be, but I know where I am. I can say what life is showing, still I know what I see. And I can live on vision, but it's close to come. This little man is moving on. So singing, never know, because it's never know,
Great job, Cheryl. Yay. Everyone doing their sign language clapping. So to start today, I want to remind you of the song that we're going to sing the chorus of and sort of a chant with a little bit of a chanting energy together. So some of you have heard the song By Breath before. Sarah Thompson sings that song. So we're just going to sing the chorus a couple times through. So I'll start and then join in with your mics muted as you're able. By breath, is that the right? By breath, by blood, by body, by spirit, we are all one. By breath, by blood, by body, by spirit, we are all one. By breath, by blood, by body, by spirit, we are all one. One more time together. By breath, by blood, by body, by spirit, we are all one. I can't breathe. I can't breathe, coughs the Marlboro Man, talking tobacco and opium and tantalizing temptations, talking addiction to filling our lungs with smoke and iridescent substance, the fastest path to our brain, those fragile yet firm bronchial trees. I can't breathe, says Eric Garner. Remember his name? Asthma and fear and a mouth covered by blue hands till the lights went out. I can't breathe, we gasp as a nation and a world in panic. Shallow breaths mimic drowning. Our chests trying to float and keep up the doggy paddle to the edge of this. Flailing froggy fingers, finding something slick and firm to hold while waves of invisible enemy droplets dizzy up to our necks and chin. I can't breathe, we say, as industry puffs and speeds and swallows and slows. Exhaust and fog filling the sky like dementors. I can't breathe as pepper spray fills the air on ancient lands, poison over the sky blue waters. The hand of the Lord came upon me. And he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me down in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones. He led me all around them. There were very many lying in the valley, and they were very dry. He said to me, "Mortal, can these bones live?" I answered, "Lord God, only you know." Corona drops like an atomic bomb, and the ripple effects will be felt like radiation. Some big and mighty impacts immediately, then residual. Life after life, drop after drop, dollar after dollar, home after home. One moves her wedding. Another gives birth alone in a hospital. Another dies alone. Another surrenders their ventilator voluntarily for someone 40 years their younger, a priest. One has his one chance at the Olympics and will miss it. One will miss prom, their birthday, graduation. One skipped breath and all could be lost. One extra large pickle slice down the wrong tube at a barbecue and we are done. 1 second too long underwater when mom was not looking and washing the dishes, and she's consumed. Simple, tender, a pathway that must be protected first and foremost. Then the Lord said to me, "Prophesy to these bones and say to them, O dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord God to these bones, I will cause breath to enter you, and you shall live. I will lay sinews on you, and will cause flesh to come upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and you shall live, and you shall know that I am the Lord." So I prophesied as I had been commanded. And as I prophesied, suddenly there was a noise, a rattling, and the bones came together, bone on bone. And I looked, and there were sinews on them, and flesh had come upon them, and the skin had covered them, but there was no breath in them. Then he said to me, "Prophesy to the breath, prophesy, mortal, and say to the breath, Thus says the Lord God, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live." I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood on their feet, a vast multitude. And he said to me, "Mortal, these bones are the whole house of Israel. They say, our bones are dried up. Our hope is lost. We are cut off completely. Therefore prophesy and say to them, Thus says the Lord God, I'm going to open your graves and bring you up from your graves, O my people. I will bring you back to the land of Israel. And you shall know that I am the Lord when I open your graves and bring you up from your graves, O my people. I will put my spirit within you, and you shall live, and I will place you on your own soil. Then you shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken and will act. Breathe, says God, the Ruah, the Spirit. Breathe to the Black children of Black parents who drive the speed limit and yet feel trauma upon trauma of stop and stop and stop and go forever. Breathe to the friends and family and Italians and Chinese and Americans and humans, all lonely on ventilators. Breathe to the cold ones sitting in their bunkers on landslides of toilet paper and MREs. Breathe to the water protectors, the nurses and doctors and grocery workers and gas station attendants and maintenance after maintenance, the quiet spine of our lives we didn't notice until we fell out of alignment. Breathe to all those afraid that death is the end of the story, that loss is everything, that markets are the world, who live and die by newspaper headlines. Breathe to those who have lost hope, who feel anger and afraid, and lost proms and graduation and jobs and money and houses and personal space. Breathe to all those sewing masks and reaching out hands and singing songs into the dark. Breathe to those in prison and nursing homes. Breathe to the defenders of borderlines that get fuzzier and more pointless by the hour. Breathe to everyone and to all at every stage of grief. Breathe, because life begins every day and forever and right now. Will you sing with me? By breath, by blood, by body, by spirit, we are all one. By breath, by blood, by body, by spirit, we are all one. One more time together. By breath, by blood, by body, by spirit, we are all one. So in this time, you can type in your comments, or else you can unmute yourself. If you want to share a thought or a prayer concern, I'll check I'll walk over and start reading some things out loud if you just want to type something, or if you have a joy or a concern or some word that you want to lift up in this time. See if I can find our chat. Someone's phone is ringing.
Call from 65178
Someone's getting a call. Does anyone want to unmute themselves? Does anyone have a prayer request or a thought, or do you want to type out something to me? Otherwise, we'll sing a final song together. Well, someone who's unmuted is getting a call.
That's Carla's phone.
Well, that's all right.
Hi, Mom and Dad. You're on virtual church service.
So we have just so you know, there is please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. All right, we're gonna move on to here we go. Nancy says, grateful for Minnesota Public Radio and all journalists. Yes, that's another thing. A lot of people who are still doing hard work to keep people in the news. We left up those people. I know that Benita is asking for some prayers and thoughts this morning. She's still working at the grocery store, and things have gotten stressful around that, and trying to take care of herself and all the things she needs to do right now is hard. So prayers for Benita. From Sally, prayer for my group homes, the 12 and 13, the group homes. Prayers for, because Sally works with group homes. Big virtual hugs for Benita. We're grateful for that. You two have any things? All right, I'll give you one more minute to type something if you like, and then we're gonna have our final song. Y'all have been great participants, although someone's still gotta mute themselves. I hear alarms. From Benjamin, prayers for all educators working with youth from pre-K to post-secondary. Yes, a lot of people are having to change everything about how they're doing their jobs right now, especially teachers. From Rhonda, thinking about a neighbor who's transitioning into Kenwood from Fairview. That's a very difficult situation. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all. All right, we'll let Cheryl lead us in a final song.
Well, we're gonna do a metaphorical song. We have two side-by-side brushes at least 6 feet apart. Let's sing together.
Which song? Is it in here?
Number 81.
Oh, I got it.
We don't need more. Ain't gonna bear one money when you
don't know what's coming tomorrow. Maybe it's trouble. Sorrow. We'll travel the road, sharing our love, side by side. What kinds of weather? What if the sky would fall? Just as long as we're together, it really doesn't matter at all. If all had their quarrels and parted, we'll be the same as we started, traveling along, singing a song, side by side, side by side, side by side. Woo! Good job, Cheryl. All right, y'all are welcome to unmute each other if you want to give a round of applause for Cheryl and Tony. They did a wonderful job. Yay! And we're so grateful that each and every one of you were able to participate today. So thank you for being here. We'll make sure this is all posted so that you can watch this again. We love you. Take care of yourself and safe.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Tony too.
Thank
Really
you.
grateful.
Yes, Lenny. Yay. For anybody wants one.
See you, everybody.